If you're looking to build your back, I got 3 essential resistance band back exercises for you. First up, we have a seated low row. This is one of my favorites to really isolate the lower lats and get a full contraction. And all you need is a single 41-inch band. We're gonna be using a low anchor point and then something to sit on like a bench. And also to make it more comfortable, I'm going to be using a pair of clench band handles, and I'm gonna show you 2 different variants of this. So to set it up, it's super easy. Grab your 41-inch band, string it through your anchor point, and then we're gonna fold the band in half. And then the first variant, we're gonna be doing a V-bar row, so it's a close grip row. So you hook one side of the band on each ear, and then you grab your other handle and pop it in right next to it. Now we have this nice close grip V-bar configuration. And then to set this up, scoot back, get yourself tension. The band should be pulling you and those scapulas into that fully extended position. And then make sure you're sitting up nice and straight, pulling that core in tight. And then to roll this in, we're gonna be driving with our elbows. We wanna get our elbows behind the spine, get those handles right up into our sternum. Big squeeze and let it out. Exhale on the way in. Inhale on the way out. And really focus on driving those elbows back and squeezing those lats. What I like about this one is that we're seated, so we can put all of that focus, all that energy into our back muscles. And that's how you do the V-bar version. The next variation, I'm gonna show you how to do a bilateral version of this. So we're gonna hook our handles up, one on each side of the band. And I like to keep the bands on the inside of the handles for my hand positioning. And now it's the same configuration as before, but now our handles are decoupled. So when we go through the range of motion here, we can get a little bit wider. And that'll work a little bit wider portion of the lats. Same concept as before. We're driving back with those elbows. And notice now I can spread my hands apart and get further back than I could with the V-bar version. And you'll just notice that this works a wider portion of your lats, more on the outside of them. All right, next up, we're gonna be doing an old staple with bands. We're doing deadlifts, and we're gonna be using a straight bar. So to do this, to set this up the most effective way, we have a Clench Fitness footplate with a single 41-inch band laid out underneath of it, and it goes down this center channel. I like to keep the loops on the outside of the footplate, and that'll make you start lower to the floor, so you'll have tension right away. You can also, depending on how tall you are, you could go to the inner, you could loop the band up here through the handle, and then that'll make it a little bit narrower and then give you a higher starting point or less tension at the bottom of the rep. You could fully customize it for your own geometry. I'm using a single 41-inch band. As you get heavier, you can always stack bands together. And then I'm just using a steel rod here, steel tube, nice and hard and rigid, so you don't have to worry about it bending or breaking. And then all you need to do is loop the bands right on the end of this tube, get them nice and equalized and everything centered and even. And then all we have to do is step on the board. I get just like a shoulder width stance here, maybe a little bit inside, toes pointing slightly out. And then I grab overhand. You can do the alternated grip if you want, whatever's most comfortable for you. I grab overhand, and then to get down into this position, we're gonna drop our butt down, pull our core in tight, and we're gonna engage those lats to start. So we roll those lats back, and then we stand up, and that bar should basically follow right along the front of our calves here, or the shins. That's how you know you're doing it right. And then to do the rep, butts down, cores in tight. We're gonna exhale on the way up, and towards the top of the rep, we're gonna be thrusting our hips forward, roll those shoulders back, big squeeze at the top. Inhale on the way down, bar follows our legs all the way down. Keeping that core pulled in tight, protect that lower back. Don't let your back hunch over We want to keep that in a nice neutral or a little bit hyperextended. Exhaling, squeezing, pulling it all the way up. And it's all about control. Don't be jerking the weight off the floor. That will surely give you a higher risk for injury. And that's how we do the straight bar deadlifts. Last exercise, we're gonna be doing some single arm rows. Once again, I'm using the Clench Fitness Footplate, a single 41-inch band, and a clench band handle. These are really slick to set up with the Footplate. So I use basically the two end handles, and I pull that band up right into that channel. Got the two ends here, and then I use my clench band handle, and I hook one end onto each side of the handle. Get some tension on that baby. And then this is great. It just feels really good. You get good tension at the bottom. And if you need even more tension, you could always go outside of the plate with the band. And then to set this up, I basically put one leg back almost straight, and then my other leg is almost at a 90, and I just bend over it so that basically my pecs are centered over top of the handle. And then I'm gonna let that scapula fully extend, getting basically the band tension pulling me into full extension. And then I'm gonna row it back, basically pulling that elbow behind my spine, keeping my spine nice and neutral, core pulled in tight. I usually have my head kind of looking straight out here, and then I just pull it back all the way as far as we can get it, full retraction of that scapula. Let it down nice and slow. Big squeeze, let it down nice and slow. And with this, it's really about that squeeze and getting that full range of motion at the top so you can feel this big lat muscle engaging, and then full extension at the bottom so that you really stretch that thing out. And then to switch sides, super simple. You just switch legs and go into the next side. That's what makes this Footplate so convenient. And you can really load these up with heavier bands. Just make sure that you're getting that full range of motion and really engaging that lat at the top of the rep. There you go. There's 3 essential back exercises for you to throw into your next workout. We got some lower lat exercises, we got some lower back exercises with those deadlifts, and then with the single arm, we're getting a little bit more of the mid to upper back exercise region. Typically, I recommend for that muscle growth and hypertrophy, we're usually doing 3 to 4 sets per exercise with around 8 to 15 on the rep range. That's usually plenty effective for what we're doing here. So give them a try. Let me know in the comments which one is your favorite. If you like what you saw today, be sure to smash that like button. If you want to see more content like this, check out the on-screen video links. We have tons of content on our Clench Fitness channel. Would love to have you stick around and keep watching. Furthermore, if you need any of the bands, foot plates, handles, accessories we've shown today, head over to clenchfitness.com and we will hook you up. And thank you for watching.